And we are live.
And
baby.
we live. Alrighty. Welcome back, guys. Episode 65 of Ghetto
Yes,
Rig.
sir.
We brought you another episode back. Even though our boy is across the world right now, we still want to give you guys the content, stay as constant as possible. Oh shit, why is this going away? Shouldn't it go
And
live?
girls, not only boys,
Did it go
and
live?
girls.
Did it go live? And we live, baby.
Just
It went
double
live.
checking since we don't have anybody behind the camera right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey's joining me on the couch.
We're gonna get spicy tonight.
What's up, boys?
Guys,
We gotta
thank
wake
you.
Jay up a little bit. We gotta give him a little bit of content.
Yes, we do need to wake Jay
No,
up a
no,
little bit.
no. You know, Jay hasn't slept for like a couple of days straight. Thanks for all the prayers, guys. I fought off the fucking bears. We're good. We're good.
The Bears
Hey, how
are-
many did you fight?
Huh?
Was it a pack or was it just one?
Well, at first it was a pack, but then
You managed to split them off. You told me.
nah, bro. I right away just kind of looked around, picked the biggest one that was like kind of like telling every other one what to
He
do.
did it like a prison
did.
yard.
He stared them
I
down.
did.
He looked at him and he's like, he's looking at me and he's talking shit.
He's the big one of the group. I gotta fuck him up.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a him or a her.
I don't think they identify as anything, so you're good.
Felt more like a him, but could be like Leah Thomas type of situation. Could have been a her. You know what I'm saying?
It could have been like
Like-
an Amanda Nunes situation.
No. More like a Leah Thomas situation, where
Okay.
like used to be a dude, but then turned into a girl. You know, you never know what's the bare politics.
Okay, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, Ted Cruz actually, he roasted the fuck out this one. I don't remember. I think she was at education something, and he asked a simple question. I believe it was, Are
I think I know
are
what you're
men
talking
the same as women? And she could not give him a straight answer.
about. Yeah, she
Well-
was not. He kept going back to it and was like yes or no.
It says
It's a-
yes or no. Don't give me men and women.
Yeah,
They're the
she started,
same
like,
biologically.
rolling around the question, trying to break it down, and he was like, "No, I don't want
I don't want the
breakdown.
breakdown."
I want a yes or no. Can you give me a yes or no?" And she wouldn't answer.
Well, I guess she wasn't very educated, huh?
I don't know. It looked like someone who
She
was,
I
but
think she had
she just didn't want to answer the
a couple
question.
degrees or something like that.
Well, no, she couldn't answer the question. Think about it. How is she able to answer that? If the minute she answered her question, her entire world falls apart.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because she like goes on a whole fucking idea of men and women are the same.
That reminds me, I watched Bradley Martin and Zerka's pod on Raw Talk,
Yeah.
Bradley Martin's Raw Talk, and Zerka was talking to, damn, I don't remember who. It was someone else, and he was explaining the story. Like, yeah, I asked the guy, like, basically, well, can you give me the definition of a whore? And the person apparently wouldn't give the definition, kept going around the question, and this and that. Kind of sounds like the same thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
the moment they start even acknowledging things like that, they kind of messes with their thing, right?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Or at
And
least
that's
they
just
feel
their
like it
fucking-
does. Or that's what they're trying
with
to
their
do.
fucking agenda, you know what I'm saying? So I hate to call it agenda because there are people out there that truly have this issue. But it's a very minority. It's a very small percentage of people. And when they start saying that, they immediately start saying that there's only very small majority of people that are one way or another way. And then the problem becomes suddenly less important, which it should be, It is
Talking
what it is.
about females, I didn't know Jake Paul was fighting Nate Diaz.
You didn't know this?
Nah, fucking. Whew,
It went right over your head every time we mentioned it.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
Wait.
He's fighting Nate Diaz. That's you know what's funny? Guess who's the underdog?
Jake Paul, Nate Diaz,
Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
he has to. But wait a
They're
minute.
they're favoriting,
Because of the outlandish shit that he said.
but they're favoriting Jake Paul. They think that Jake Paul will win
Talking
this
about,
fight.
I don't even know the rules of boxing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Right? What are the rules to this shit again? Someone explain this. Something he said like that, right? Like he tweeted that, right?
He's about to go in there kicking.
I would love that. I'm sorry. I know everybody's touching, but you imagine he just goes in there like Tony Ferguson to him right in the chin, just like Michael Chandler did to him. Bam!
Just I don't
Clean-
know.
Did it?
Fucking kicks your shit.
Didn't Jake Paul did this exhibition boxing thing with this upcoming UFC fighter and fucking lost $1,000 to him because the UFC fighter was more technical and like he knew how to do shit better than
Really?
Jake Paul. Yeah,
I didn't
I
know that.
forget the name, but he's a young fighter. Kind of looks like Conor McGregor with less mileage on him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so they were doing like the thing where they had the ball attached to their head and they're going like pop, 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 pop.
Oh, you talking about he lost that to Ian Gary, right?
Ian Gary, yeah, that sounds
Ian
right.
Machado Gary. I think I saw that. Yeah, yeah, he lost some money.
Thousand bucks.
They're advertising that thing, right? Like the new headband that came out. So they got a bunch of fighters trying it out.
They got fucking Jones trying it as well. No, I saw him the other day on a
I
story.
think you're right. I think it
Yeah.
was Jones. Yeah, it's a new product they have coming out that's like that same thing they've had for a while, the headband with the ball that the boxers use, but I guess it actually counts it, right? Like how many times you can hit it in a row.
Are we doing jujitsu
Yeah.
this Sunday or what? What's
No, I
going
don't think
on?
we're doing jiu-jitsu this Sunday.
No.
I don't think Felix will be here this Sunday.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, we could go roll, but we're just going to be rolling us. We won't have Jay or Felix there to like probably show us drills unless Ozzy shows us something.
I mean, I'm down to
Ozzy
roll
can
for a
show
little
you
bit.
stuff.
I'm
Ozzy
sure
can
he
show you
I'm
stuff.
sure he can.
He can show you guys how to choke someone from the guard.
Choke someone.
Which,
That's his specialty. Trying to choke
yeah,
someone from guard while he's in their guard, right?
yeah.
Like, oh shit. Hey, bro, it's that big guy mentality. He's like, I can go from it from here. I can apply that pressure.
I mean, he can.
There you
He
go.
can.
There you,
You gotta watch out,
Just give me
bro.
a
Like you
hug.
gotta
Let
watch
me
out
apply
for that
some
choke.
pressure.
He can definitely put a Makachev on your ass. That's for sure.
hey, what's up, Arthur? What's up, Bianca? Thank you guys for joining us in the
Hello,
chat.
hello.
Appreciate you guys coming in. Yeah, bro. I'll see can apply pressure from almost any position. Just give gravity in his scenario. And he's
Gravity's
gonna
on the
choke.
side.
He's gonna choke you or whatever it is.
Did you guys see guys? You were making fun of me about the bears, but then I send you a photo, proof of fucking leopards. You know what
Bullshit.
I'm saying?
You talk about tigers, motherfucker.
Tigers, leopards. It's a fucking cat. You know what I'm saying? Like
You know, I heard
I'm sure there's some cougars around there as
they
well.
asked this question the other day. What animal
what?
do you think
Uh-huh.
is coming out on top in a 1v1 tournament with every other animal? Jay, are you
Fucking
sick?
lion, bro.
Bianca, he's not sick. Sorry, Jay. He's not sick. He's just waking up at 4 in the morning to do the podcast because he's committed. So he's just waking up a little bit and probably still drunk.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was fighting
come
some
on.
bears, so he's a little damaged.
But yeah, what animal you think comes out on top 1v1 against everything?
Well, I don't know. Like I've watched some shit on Discovery Channel
Question:
where they say that. Go ahead.
Where is the fight taking place?
Ooh, that's actually I like that question. I like that question. So, because that matters. That matters, right? Because if you're in the person like in that animal's element, you take the other animal out of its element. You know,
Who's
it might.
the apex now?
Yeah, who's that? Who's that? Who's the apex predator in that environment? Let's just say
Yeah.
we put them in a football field, flat land, you know, grass.
With water around it.
Yeah, like a moat, like a fucking moat around it, right? So it's like forcing them to stay on the grass. You know, none of these animals are probably gonna want to get in the water. A
Wait, is this
gator.
gonna be land?
So yeah, let's say in
Land
the
element?
middle of a football field, right? A gator, straight 1v1.
Oh
So
shoot! A gator
Bianca,
is actually a good idea.
Bianca
because
said a
he's on
gator.
land and water.
That's a good idea, but the only reason I don't like the gator one is the mobility, right? You don't really like how
The mobility.
he's not
what
he's not the
animal's gonna
most
fuck with him?
mobile, like agile animal, right? Like it's not
Bro,
very.
Have you seen alligators, bro?
I have, bro, but I've also seen like a snake freaking strangle an alligator before. So there's videos
Yeah,
of
and a
everything.
leopard.
So
And a leopard fuck up an
I
alligator.
like Joe Rogan's question because I saw this on Joe Rogan.
So
He
we
said
have
a
to
tiger.
So we have to kind of do like a weigh in for the animals, like
No, bro, they're a natural weight.
weigh
They're
in with
not-
special abilities.
So yeah, but I like Joe Rogan's idea. A tiger. It's the biggest of the big cats, the most ferocious and strong. And then he was their rebuttal was a bear. What do you think? A bear versus a tiger?
So I'm gonna stick with the lion since he's like the king of the jungle,
No, but
right?
you know that the tiger beats lion, right?
Well, see, there was a thing. Tiger is stronger than lion and faster than lion. It bites harder and hits stronger.
It goes directly
But
for the throat.
yeah, but there's something about a tiger that he had like a pretty hard disability against the lion, and I don't remember what it was.
So
Because they're talking about the tigers, lions, hyenas, rhinoceros, and things like that. You know what I mean?
I'm
Maybe
curious
the
though.
only
Lion
thing I
versus
see is
tiger.
like maybe muscle mass. But then again,
But
tigers are still fucking, I think, bigger than lions. Lions just look big because of their mane.
Yeah,
but I
tigers are
also
a
seen
lot bigger.
but I also seen wildebeest fucking some shit up. You
But I don't
know?
think the wildebeest beats the tiger 1-on-1. Wildebeest beats tiger with the pack, right?
Wildebeest?
No,
Wildebeest like the
wildebeest
big
like
ass fucking like
like a African cow,
like a
but in the
huge
wild.
ram. Like think of this huge freaking ram kind of. I don't know how to put
Yeah.
it.
But I've seen him fuck up fucking lions, you know what I mean? On their own, like couple of lions, not just one. Fuck up couple of lions. But then you also have fucking elephants. You know what I mean? Elephants are a little slower. I've seen fucking lions attack elephants, and I've seen elephants attack lions. You know?
And you know what's funny? They have the lion as the king of the jungle, right? But lions don't even live in the jungle. Tigers do. I found that distinction kind of funny. They have the lion, you know, like growing up watching Lion King and stuff. You know, the king of the jungle, but he's not the king of the jungle.
King of the
But
Sahara.
but also like the
Of the
female
Sahara, the
lions are,
savannas and
Yeah.
shit, right?
but also female lions are the ones that are fucking shit up. Male
So,
lions, they just
So what
kind
are
of
you
like
trying to
once in a while
say?
fight
So
each
what are you
other.
trying to say? Female lions are thoughts?
well, female lions are a lot more. If you want to look at more active and like actually killing things, female lions are the ones that go
Yeah,
out and hunt and stuff, right? Like the male
yeah,
lions
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of protect the pack, and they're just there to challenge for alpha position, right? Like who's the leader? That's really the only times they
Unless
fight, or for mating, right?
So what you're saying is the lions like go make me some food, take care of the babies.
Well, a lot of big cats work that way. A lot of animals that work in packs work that way. That the females are the ones that go and hunt and get food. Uh,
Interesting.
unless in Africa, there used to be this famous fucking lion pack, and there were like these four or five males. They were all brothers, and they would fucking terrorize everything. Like every single animal knew about. Like you can Google this shit. They knew about these guys. Like they're the fucking. They would just
I gotta see the
kill
chat.
shit just to kill shit.
We can bring this here. Oh
I'm out.
shit!
Hi, Miguel.
Oh shit! Hi, Miguel. Miguel.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Not
Lion
nothing.
walk
Nah,
in?
nah.
Nah,
Hey, a big part is cameras are okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Just a little slight. Oh, it's because the cable's under this.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, if you quickly look up, if one of you hops on the internet, you can see like you can look up like the this lion pack that was like fucking terrorizing the entire jungle. They're pretty famous. Like all the animals knew about this like four or five lions that would fuck shit up just to fuck shit up.
Damn, they were known and shit.
Like for no reason. Like they
They were
would
just walking
kill.
around like, oh
Usually,
shit.
yeah, usually lions don't kill to kill, but these motherfuckers were killing to kill just to prove a point.
Oh, it was like, but they knew specifically against humans. I think it was right. Like they were specifically
Right.
going after
They,
humans on purpose just to kill. Right.
they were against everything, bro.
Really?
No
Okay.
fucking animal was safe. Yeah, they were just against everyone.
So
There's
we
like
missed a couple questions. Your brother started off when he came in here. What hotel are you in, brother?
it's called Neringa, which is like a name.
Nettinga?
It's like a
What does that
Lithuanian
mean?
name.
What
Yeah,
does that mean? Let's see if you have any interesting translations today.
What does that
uh,
mean?
Last time you said a snake was a what was it?
A
Shoot
jungle string,
a
which
jungle
was
string?
Cap. I think we figured out was
jungle
Cap,
string.
but
Nah, bro. Lithuanians are normal people. They're really, really normal. Latvians, not so much.
not so much. And
Yeah,
so you're in Europe, right? But you were in Latvia. Are you still in Latvia? Or are you back in Lithuania now? You're
back
in
to Lithuania.
Lithuania. 'Cause they were asked.
Mhm.
They wanted to know where you were at.
That that day when we were talking on the phone, which technically was like the day for me that I traveled back to Lithuania.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like 4 in the morning. That's the like So basically, last Tuesday for you guys, I was traveling to Lithuania already.
Right.
But
So
so that was interesting. Like
yeah, Bianca,
it's
like Arthur said, you should have seen him last pod. If you go look at Tuesday's pod, Jay was I don't know what he was taking. He was I don't think it was just alcohol at this point. He was talking about bears and tigers and shit outside, which was cap.
listen, guys, I've survived. You know what I'm saying?
So
It was tough.
I think Natalie is onto something here. Straight 1v1, an elephant would take on any animal out there. See, the thing is, I almost agree with her because of the sheer weight, right? It's like almost any animal out there gets stepped on by a goddamn elephant or can get thrown up in the air by a goddamn elephant. It's done, right? So
But
one v
Unless
they
it's
have
a
tusks
mouse.
as well.
yeah, right. 1v1.
Unless
I
it's
don't
a
think
mouse.
anything beats the elephant. What beats an
Unless
elephant?
a mouse. Elephants are like afraid of mice.
But it's not
But
gonna
that doesn't
kill it.
mean it's gonna fucking fuck up the bear. It might run away,
Yeah, it's
but
gonna stomp on the fucking mouse. I
I
think
mean,
the only thing that kills
if
an
you're
elephant.
fighting in an
No,
arena
but
and
that,
there's water in the edge, deep water, the mice wins.
Ready? I got this. Only thing that beats elephant, black mamba. Just fucking bites it once. Done.
Poison.
It might die too. It's probably gonna die. It's
but
probably
that
gonna get
skin
stomped
is,
on.
but that skin is thick, bro. Like I don't know if black mamba can penetrate elephant skin.
True. That's very true. Because their fangs aren't
You know what
very
I'm saying?
strong.
Yeah,
They're
because
meant for
that
like soft skinned animals, from what I know of.
yeah, at that point, black mamba becomes like a daddy long legs fighter. You know what I mean? Like daddy long legs in humans. You know what I'm saying?
What if it just gets stepped on as it tries to bite?
So straight 1v1. Yeah, elephant, gator in water.
I feel
In
like
the water,
gator,
I think I'm
bro, those
taking
are
a big animal
dinosaurs.
like
Shark, bro. There's no question about it.
I
Shark
don't
will
know.
fuck some shit up.
I guess a
A
shark,
great white,
a big
a
ass shark.
great white. Those motherfuckers jump out the water
No, I'll
just to
take a
fuck
bull
some shit
shark.
up.
But
I'll take a
orca,
bull shark, the
but
most
orcas
aggressive of
would
the aggressive.
orcas would fuck up any of those.
I don't know.
Orca, yeah, killer whales, bro. They're smart as shit. They would probably fling them somebody
They
with
would
a
fucking flip
tail.
them.
Well, have you seen a sun bear? They
Have you
literally
guys seen?
look like a man in a bear costume. They're unsettling to look
It
at.
was
A
in
sun bear.
it was in China. I'd
Oh, is that
seen
what she's talking about?
Oh
That video in
yeah, I've
China where
the
they
seen
were
it. I've
one
talking
video
seen
in
about
it.
like
China. Yeah,
they
yeah,
were basically claiming that this bear was fake, and were
yeah.
like talking about like the people there were like
The way it
trying
sat
to talk about
down
suing.
wasn't like a human though. So
No, no, yeah, no. They walk like up. They'll walk upright. They look like humans.
Sun bear.
I don't know if it's some
Oh
bear, but
yeah, yeah, right. This
they're
is the one that's going famous. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Appreciate that, Bianca. Yeah, these bears are a little weird, right? The way they like it is a little unsettling, like you said, right? Like the bear definitely looks a little weird. Uh,
it's just
damn,
a friendly bear, man.
damn, motherfucker really does. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. He stands like my uncle.
He's
He's standing up like one of my uncles
with the belly out.
yeah,
Yeah, belly out.
the neck forward
He
and
just needs
shit.
a beer.
Yeah, he just needs a beer in his hand.
Fucking presidente.
Yeah, that's weird. Hippos. Yeah, so Alex was saying hippos. I don't think the elephant. I don't think the hippo beats the elephant. I don't think so. I really don't.
But see, the thing is, okay, hippos are ferocious and they're fast in the fucking water, and they have the mouth and the teeth, but like it's more of like crushing power.
Can they fuck
You
up
know what I mean?
gators?
Yeah,
Can they fuck up
I
gators?
think they do fuck up gators. I think I would take a
Yeah.
gator. I think I'd take the hippo over a gator, right? Just the sheer weight and force behind the hippo versus the gator.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. If it's a good gator, it could probably
See, though-
chunk and then do the death roll, and you're
This
done.
is my thing. I don't think that even if the gator grabs a hold of the hippo's so heavy that I don't think it has that the gator's gonna have the momentum and force to be able
momentum-
to even start doing a death roll and try and rip something off. You see what I'm saying? Like the thing is so sturdy. Like it's gonna be like the gator's trying to grab onto a fucking concrete column and try and twist. Like
I
not
don't
gonna
know,
happen.
man.
That's what I would think.
So
I bet
So
I
they
think
do
this
the-
is a bit different, but I feel like if a gator grabs a limb, you're fucked because I saw this video
Of a human?
gator. No, of a gator grabbing a goat by its center mass, doing like just
Oh yeah,
that, and
so
it
that.
snapped off
Yeah.
the whole entire.
So he had like the butt in his mouth.
Yeah,
and, like
something
he
like
snapped
that,
the
and
whole
he-
thing
he
in half
just-
and just had like literally I think one
Just a
ham,
chunk of the-
one ham in his mouth left.
Yeah.
Like he ripped the whole entire goat into like pieces.
Yeah,
But this is the thing. It's a goat versus something like a fucking hippo, bro.
yeah, but if he gets a limb,
That's even if he gets a limbs, like I'm saying, like it's gonna be like him trying to do a death roll on a concrete column. This thing is solid.
I feel like those bites are strong, dude. There's a
So-
lot of power on that.
so technically, due to like this was the explanation, like but this was they're comparing cats, like, and they said that the most ferocious one out of all of them is the domestic cat, because these motherfuckers will kill just to kill for like pleasure of killing. and they kill like over millions and of millions of like different other little animals, right? Like the cat is like the most fucked up one.
That's why I don't fuck with
I
cats.
But
agree, Natalie. I don't think the gator would even be able to like spread wide enough, comfortably enough to like grab the hippo. This is what I mean. Like such a big fucking heavy animal.
I mean, but
yeah, and then lion
hippos
could
are
just
big,
like
but they're not as big as
climb on.
elephants.
No. Tampoco
Yeah,
say, right? It's a big. That's the difference.
because lions and any other cats they climb, right? Like they could just like fucking use because they're not using just their mouth; they're also using their claws. You know what I mean? Just like fuck, 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 you
Yeah,
know.
What?
yeah.
Wait, you said
But I could,
hippos have claws?
No, he's talking about the like big cats.
Oh,
yeah, but then also like right now, what's happening? Apparently, the fucking bears are migrating up and down. Like this is a true story, and then the white bears are actually having babies with brown bears. And now so there's like this fucking hybrid of bears that's happening that's bigger, stronger than both,
Hey,
and like a lot more agile.
real quick in the chat, I just wanted to check because I was clipping up stuff the other day and I noticed. So Discord was sounding a lot louder than like we were, so it was sounding off anytime I was clipping something. Real quick in the chat, I want you guys to let me know if Jay sounds like a substantially louder than we do. If there's a big difference there, so I can fix that. Because he's kind of, I don't know about for you, but on my headphones is on a little on the louder side. It could be turned down
I'm
if we need,
chilling.
if
Well,
need
I'm not
be.
using that. I'm not using headphones, right? So I'm gonna like
Well, I
regular,
mean,
but
like
let me put
that's
the
exactly what
headphones
I mean.
in.
Not necessarily the
Let me
Discord
put the
pod
headphones
we
in.
did Tuesday, but like in the past, like when we were doing with Alex and stuff, I was noticing they were on a little like Alex was on a little louder
He was a
side
little bit louder.
than everybody else, so it would sound off. The volumes would sound off compared to everybody else, and I was clipping stuff up. Not a big deal for the pod, but the clips they would sound really weird anytime Alex or anybody in Discord would speak because it's like just a like way louder. It sounded like it wasn't even the same video.
Um, the boy Trump
I saw some
pled
stuff on
not
him,
guilty,
but not guilty.
of course.
So is that to like the charges of him hiding shit? Or is that like in
Uh,
just is that everything? Is what you're talking about?
January 6th, I think it was.
Sounds fine. Thank you, Bianca. I appreciate that. Let us know if we need to turn him down. We'll
But
do
he's
that.
got so many fucking charges. It's just hard to keep track of.
I mean, the
Well,
charges basically are all for the same thing,
counts,
right?
For
4 years.
January 6th documents and election, whatever.
Just change the scene because he's gone.
No, I'll be right back. I'm just trying to figure out where my fucking headphones are. They're here somewhere. Play sound.
So, you're right, Trump. I saw some stuff here today because they released more shit. I think he was in court recently again, and
So I
they
saw a video of this lady watching them go by, and she was saying, "I'm sick and fucking tired of these presidents coming to New York and fucking up traffic."
Oh shit. Yeah, that's one of those places, especially New York or any kind of like high populated metro area like that. Anytime someone comes through, the locals get pissed. And you know what's funny? That brings me to another
They
topic.
just block off all that fucking shit.
We can get back to Trump in a second.
We don't
But
even have to. It's not fucking.
yeah, who cares, right?
Politics are not fun.
Who cares? It's about him and his toupee. So I saw this thing talking about St. Pete was named one of like the number one small to mid-sized cities to live in Florida, right? So like I guess excluding like the bigger ones like Orlando and Miami.
Stop giving them promo. We don't need nobody.
That's
else coming
exactly what I want to talk about.
over.
Us as locals here, we're so fucking sick of driving around in traffic and it's like you see all these tags that aren't from here, right? Like Virginia,
Maine,
Texas,
New
California.
But yeah,
And you're like, motherfucker, we don't need you here, right? What do you guys
no, we
think?
don't need people from South Carolina. That's what we don't need because those motherfuckers don't know how to drive. New York people are okay to drive. I think New York
New
people are
York
pretty
people don't
decent
even
to
get their
drive.
license, dog.
For real, most people in New York don't even get their license.
No, but the ones that do drive around here, they're okay. It's the fucking South Carolinas and North Carolinas that don't know how to fucking drive.
Well, what I could
Like
see
they're
what's
the
happening,
worst.
I could see what's happening there is from if you look at like at least like New York City, the people who do drive, I feel like if they're not making a lot of money, they probably do like doing Uber and Lyft like that is a really big thing over there.
Yeah, but like bikes and walking and stuff like that.
No, I'm saying like for just normal transportation, right? Like what area was it around? There was somewhere in the world. Oh, right. We can when we were in DR. Was reminded of this. In DR, they like don't have Uber and Lyft and all that stuff. The
Still have
people,
regular taxis.
the people, yeah. When they tried to release that shit there, the taxis and stuff like that went fucking crazy. The taxi companies and that shit. My dad was explaining to me. It's almost like a mafia. Where, like, example, if you lived in DR and you wanted to buy your own bus and just as your own person own your own company doing taxi service from the airport to people's houses or whatever it may be, right? Just taxi service for, bro. They'll fucking burn your bus. Like, you don't know. You're not allowed to work for yourself. Like, you gotta go, and if you want to do this, you're gonna work for under somebody.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
So so here is similar. Like they have Uber, but Uber is not popular at all. So there's this thing is called Bolt, which is basically like the
yeah,
Lyft
quale.
version. It's like the Lyft version of Uber. And Latvia, Lithuania, and like neighboring countries use Bolt as the way to transport.
So I'm sure like the apps are there, right, for the Dominicans, but I don't think it's what I was my dad was trying to say is like it's not a used thing, right? Like they when that tried getting there and try to become something big.
It's just not as common. It's just more popular to take the
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 known
problem
way.
the
The known
problem
way.
is it's the same thing with like just a normal taxi. It's not like the buses and stuff. You just want to drive your own car under yourself. They have a problem with that, and they look at Lyft and Uber as another company coming in and messing with their business,
Yeah.
which was a big thing around the whole entire world when Lyft and Uber became a thing, right? So
But so you're saying that they do have the app. They can
I'm
use.
not sure. I'm
They
not
can
100%
use
sure,
it.
but
Okay.
I know it's something that they don't use there. That it's not
Okay. So
predominantly used because if
it's
anybody
not
wants to
common.
become a Lyft or Uber driver, they're in risk of now getting in trouble with these taxi companies because these taxi companies are going to come after you because you're trying to do your own thing, kind
Okay.
of setup.
I see.
Is what I
It's kind of
gathered,
crazy to think people would do that though.
bro. When my dad told me like they'll burn your bus, I was like, no fucking way. He's like, yep, they'll fucking burn your bus down. It happens. And I was like, "What? Yeah, you cannot go and work under yourself. They have these companies. It's like a mafia, like I said.
I- Is is DR democracy?
Yeah, yeah. From what I know of, but it's like, it's just the it's still a third world country, brother. So it's like corruption is to the max.
Okay.
In the
Do they
sense
have
like
like a house in a sense or
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know anything of their political
no?
system. To be honest with you, no. I just know of like what it's
Tío
like.
Eddie.
Yeah, I know, right? Put my dad in. Okay.
So
From what I know of,
it,
it's just very corrupt and like law doesn't really mean much.
'Cause
It's
it
like you get pulled over.
if
You
you
get pulled over, it's like where's my bribe? It's not like why well, you were speeding.
in
No,
Cuba
where's
it
my
works
bribe?
very similar. That's why I asked, is it a democracy? Because in Cuba, you have to work under a company, which is government owned most of the time. I mean, you can do your side thing, but that's not legal.
I mean, it's just one of those places, man. It's not riddled with crime, but it's a lot of poverty.
There's a lot of propensity to crime due
Yes,
to low poverty
yeah,
or high
because
poverty.
of the high poverty rate, right? And so it's like when I go to DR, I don't take any jewelry. I'll wear my one necklace I never take off,
No, in
and like
Cuba we take
and
everything.
and even if I'm gonna go out at that night and I know we're gonna go out to the club or something, and last few times I haven't done it, but I used to would take everything off, everything. I wouldn't even wear an Apple Watch or a normal watch or anything.
So anything that
Um,
catches attention.
Anything that catches your attention, like for example, when we went to DR, I had to remind Emily. Like one of the first things I told her before we got there was like, babe, I know you have this really bad habit, and in America it's not a big thing, but you need to not have your phone in your hand constantly. You know how females are, bro. They always have their phone in their hand. Like they never put that shit away, right? And even if they're not using it, it's just chilling in their hand. And then they have the propensity to set stuff down and not pay attention, this and that.
They need that dopamine.
And
hit.
that same females, but I'm just talking about my
Yeah.
own female, whatever.
I myself catch myself with my phone in my hand a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, but it's different, right? Like, I just noticed she has that bad habit.
Yeah.
Anyways, I told her, babe, do not do that. Because you're going to find yourself standing in the wrong spot with your phone in your hand, and the motorita's
and
going to
become a
pass
fucking
by,
target.
and he's just going to swap it out of your hand and keep on going on his way.
Yeah, you can-
So my cousin, Conrado, my cousin Conradito, he's actually told me that he's had his phone stolen, like, I think he said like 2 or 3 times, just, going out to the club and like walking out and like looking for the next place they're going to go on his phone, and motorcycle comes by and takes his phone. Or like
Yeah,
for
but
example,
I'd
even
be
even
fucking pissed.
like we don't even like to have our windows open when we're driving around in the city because like if for whatever reason like you're on your phone and your windows open, they'll drive by and reach in your car or reach and grab your necklace
What
or
the
whatever. Yeah,
fuck?
and I mean this is
well,
not everywhere you go, right?
See, in Cuba,
But
in
there's a
Cuba
lot
it
of places
wasn't
in the
that way.
capitals
In
like
Cuba,
this.
like I said, we would take all the chains or whatever the fuck we wanted, but it's got to the point where I mean, I haven't gone in a long time. So the thing is, there's a lot of turmoil. I wouldn't risk it. I'd probably just keep everything here. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I would like
I've
to
never
go.
been. I've never been the one to go to like somewhere, especially a place where there's a lot of poverty, and just show out how much money I have.
Oh
But a lot
shit!
of people tend to do
Give
that.
me 1 second, guys. I gotta do something real quick. Give me 1 second. I forgot to check
oh,
something.
hell no.
Sorry.
So I was looking at the airport, and apparently, because I was looking up if there's any restrictions or anything like that to travel to Dominican Republic. There are no restrictions. However, there's an advisory not to travel through Dominican Republic because the crime rate apparently has been going up within the past year, like within the past couple of months, actually.
So there's an
So,
advisory to not travel through DR, but staying in DR, there's no restrictions.
no, there are no restrictions at all. It just says you might want to reconsider because the safety issue,
Okay.
because there's like apparently a lot of gang related violence and the,
Yeah.
Dímelo,
a
maestro,
lot
¿cómo estamos?
of
Llegó el profesor.
Muy bien. ¿Quieres darte?
Yeah, oh, no, pues que apenas
Échate un
uno.
poquitico acá.
German!
apparently I'm gonna have to change
A
my
little
iPad.
bit, I think.
Yeah. ¿Ya está en el podcast?
Sí.
Yeah, yeah, it's live right now.
Dale, venga.
No, no.
Uh,
Ahorita en cuero.
Eso es contenido.
what were we talking about before I left?
Eh,
Dominican.
Cuba, how it's
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the transportation is
I
something.
mean, if we're talking about transportation, third world countries, bro. I remember taking like two. Well, actually, it was just one bus, but it was a lot of stops just to get a fucking school that took maybe like 30 minutes to walk to. If I took the bus, it would still take about 30 minutes, but I didn't have to walk.
Damn. In,
No, what there's something that I can tell you about is the public transportation, bro, guys. You don't even fucking understand the level, the percentage of people that use the public transportation here. You know what I mean? Like it's so much more advanced than any public transportation I've ever seen in the United States.
Do they have trains,
No
cars?
trains,
What?
no trains. So they do have the buses and trolleys. So trolleys are it's a trolley bus. So the way the trolley works
it
is
runs on like its own separate line, kind of like you see, and when you go to like Tennessee and stuff like that, and not Tennessee,
Oh,
but
they run in their own lane.
Virginia. Where we went to that one place, what was it?
Well, St. Pete's starting to do that. They're adding trolley lanes.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, like in the beach area, I've seen a lot of the new lanes created just for buses in like the
Yeah.
Pasadena area.
Okay.
yeah, but that's still a bus, right? Like the trolley, the way it depends, it's a bus that has these two little things that go up in the air and they
Yeah.
connect to electricity. And that's how they actually
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So it is
yeah.
almost like a train.
Yeah.
Yes, it is
Sure,
almost
call it
like
a
a
trolley,
train.
but it's a fucking train.
It's what they
But
call
they,
track, has a track.
a trolley line, right? Because it even sometimes you'll see they have their own tracks on the road. Sometimes they run on tires, but like he said,
so the,
they run on. The reason they say trolley line is because they run on these lines that run on top, and they run in the
yeah.
same exact spot all day, kind of thing.
So
And
there's a second one, which is a tram. Trams are like they look like a train, but it's just one car, kind of like in Ybor City.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Feel,
I've seen them before. They look like accordions.
yeah, and they ride on a track. Like there's an actual like train track that they follow,
yeah,
right? And then the fourth way of transportation is subways, right? In Armenia, we had all four because they could actually drill under the tunnels, make tunnels and things like that. But in Lithuania, they can make tunnels, and the trams are not popular. Like they
okay,
don't exist. So it's
okay.
trolleys, buses, and there's a lot of taxi, bro. Taxi's so fucking cheap, man. Like where I'm
Is it
at to
like
get to,
Colombia cheap?
yeah, yeah.
Got you, got you.
Like it's Colombia cheap. Like from so I was thinking about like when I was in Latvia to go back to the capital was 100 kilometers, which is basically 60 miles. I paid like 70 euros for 60 miles to get there, basically like 80 bucks to travel 60 miles.
Wow. Yeah.
Or it
No,
was more, it
that's
was 150, so it was 100 miles. 100 miles was like 60 bucks or
damn.
70
That's
bucks.
really cheap. That you would not
Yeah.
find it for that cheap. That's like going to Orlando.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's like a
Arthur,
$400 trip.
Arthur, can you close the door, bro?
And the thing
That'd be like
is,
a
Thank you.
$400 trip here,
and the
no?
thing is here
No, to
cities,
Orlando it's like 120 bucks, 130 bucks. Uber.
So it's still
yeah.
pretty expensive.
It's still pretty expensive, but I'm saying it's like half. It's just
True.
60 bucks for the same distance versus what because my dad actually just did it when we went to DR. He had to leave separate with us and go to Orlando, and so like he calculated how much it was to do Uber and just paid a friend of his that much to take him, and it was like 130 bucks.
Yeah, so the and also thing is remember that that's a very large distance. Nobody really travels that much on a taxi here, right? Because
Yeah,
all the trips are pretty short.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that shit.
yeah. Nobody's
It's
going
even
100
cheaper,
miles
bro.
away. Yeah, that's crazy. Nobody does that
In the
as a
city's
normal.
even cheaper. My uncle lives outside of the town, basically. It's part of the town, but it's more of outside the town.
Uh huh.
And that's only like it's only like $8 from him to get to my hotel.
Nice, nice.
And you don't
So
tip. That's not that you don't even have to tip. That's part of the fucking
they
part of
are
the
on their
fee.
own power line, but it can either be in a line or maybe in a line in the air or on a track on the ground. Right, exactly. With how Florida is, I still don't understand why we don't have commercialized train transport. Well, they actually did just open up a line that you can take from Orlando to Miami. That's like 3.5 hours or 3 hours or something like that, and I think it costs like 60 bucks. 80 bucks.
70
It's like
bucks.
it's like a train you get on, which is something
Yeah.
that it's something that they're gonna start introducing more
I
here,
don't
Natalie, with the
I
more
don't know if I
people
would even take
coming.
that.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you're coming here to visit and you want to get from Disneyland to Miami and back, that's your way to do it.
Yeah, I guess if you're just visiting.
And what is and what is and what is
If
Florida entirely? A tourist state.
but
Yeah.
if you are just a resident of Florida and you're going down to Miami, you definitely want to take your car.
Oh yeah, no, fuck
You
getting
want
on
So
a
to
here,
train
you want
and
to move
being there with a
around. You
bunch
don't
of
want to pay
people.
for like Ubers and
Yeah,
shit
no,
like
fuck
that.
that.
so here's the thing. Florida, I mean, in Florida, any none of the cities are like Baltimore or or New York and shit like that. So there's not enough people in Florida that would be using the public transportation system. That's why they don't have it. The only public transport, the people that use the public transportation in Florida are either illegal immigrants that don't have documentation to buy the car legally, or people that don't have a lot of money. But majority of people in Florida have fucking money to buy some sort of a
And
car.
even the being an illegal immigrant nowadays is not really the biggest problem because you'll find anybody to sell you a car that for some reason has no title, and that's the perfect matchup for that immigrant, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
and they're usually cheap,
So,
right? Like when you have situations like that, they'll sell a car with no title. They'll sell you for a quarter of the price, right? Because it's illegal.
I mean, technically, somebody has a salvage title car. You can't register that bitch. You know what I mean?
You get the hood discount.
It's a salvage title. You know what I mean? So these guys don't get caught driving it. You know,
Yeah,
that's the
but
thing.
so Natalie, you said 2 hour drive from me to you to go to Orlando, but that's for you where we live in the Tampa Bay area. I'm talking about. So this is from Orlando to
I mean,
Miami.
I feel like if they want to make money,
Yeah, we don't have enough people in the Tampa Bay area just yet for that to be a big thing. And like Jay said, the people that do come to Tampa Bay area, they have transportation,
if
right?
they
So,
want to make money to maintain the train track and they need that traffic, just start the station right next to Disneyland Orlando.
and another thing is that the
Yeah.
reason we don't really have a lot of like inner city transportation in like the subway style because you can't go into underground here in Florida. It's not a plausible thing to be doing subways here. Um,
Yep.
and also things aren't necessarily the closest to each other. You know what I mean? Like when you're here as a tourist to go from one place to another, it's like a 12, 15 minute drive. And it's not like we have the craziest amount of traffic. And I'm thinking of Orlando here, not Miami. It's not like there's the craziest amount of traffic. It's just that things aren't necessarily relatively close. It's not very
But
compact style city like you would see in New York and Chicago and stuff like that. And that's where those things are very popular.
it's the density of the population per square mile,
There
right?
you
Like
go.
not a lot, because in New York, a lot of people don't have driver's licenses because parking is an issue. There's no really need for you to fucking have a car. So a lot of people don't even have the driver license. They just use the public transport, right? So, but here in Florida, I mean, like let's take St. Pete or even Tampa. Well, how many square miles of downtown Tampa do we have? Or like a tight, concentrated area of like buildings and shit that people are. It's not very big. It's only like what 20 blocks one way and
It's
20
not.
the other way. And
It's
this,
really not even that big. I think we
that's what
go
I'm
over
saying. Like,
we
it
go over
makes
there
sense.
and ride scooters all the time. Like that. Downtown Tampa is not a very big area, and it's downtown St. Pete, not a
It's
very big
tiny,
area.
man.
No.
Yeah, you walk downtown St. Pete within like like if you just walking 15 minutes. That's plenty for you to walk downtown
Oh,
St.
you
Pete,
can
really.
walk from one side to the other. You just start at one side of Beach Drive and go all the way to the other, and that's downtown
Yeah, that's
St.
it,
Pete.
and done
Yeah,
and done.
that's
Yeah.
it. Um, so I know they're not close, and that's why it's an appeal. The train seems good for long distance, cheaper and faster. I mean, the
It is.
problem
It's.
is we've
I don't.
moved. I feel like we're moving on. They're like trying to
Or
say again, Jay. Go ahead.
I don't think it's faster or cheaper. The appeal of the train is because you are in a train cart. So let's say you have a group of friends that wants to go. No one needs to drive. You just hop on a train and you're there. Because the train also has a cart. There's a bar in it. Like there's a VIP side to it. So like with driving to Miami, the trouble with driving to Miami is you load up a car and then just bunch of people go, and then everyone needs to fucking come to a conclusion where we're gonna stop, take a pee break, basically, and stand up and stuff like that. With a train, you don't have to fucking worry about it. You just get up, walk around the train a little bit, get back down, sit down while this motherfucker moving, right? But it's not necessarily cheaper or faster, right? Like it's $70.
I would agree with that, Natalie. If they implemented train tier, it would be nice for tourists moving from downtown to like the beach area. Um, and
Which they do.
I feel
They
like
do right now. They have that trolley,
they're
remember? They just
probably
they just built it.
they probably will implement trains here if we continue to uprise in population, which we have been. So
Yeah, but they already invested into it. First North and First South have the
you
bus route that takes you from the beach drive to the actual beach for $2.50.
you know what I think is a key part of this. It has to be that kind of how in New York is in a lot of areas, New York City.
Yes.
It's easier for you, it's faster and more convenient for you to take a train sometimes, even if you
Yeah.
have a car. That's gonna have to happen here, like the population is gonna have to get so bad here in St. Petersburg for that to be the like outcome. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be their goal. I think that's when that problem is something.
So you think people are just gonna do it just out of necessity and
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. I think it has to be a necessity. That's what I'm saying. Like that has to be the problem. There's so many people that it's getting so hard to move around.
that it's just easier to take
Yeah,
the
and
railroad?
guess what? And guess what? If they haven't implemented that in Miami, I don't think it'll happen here. And
I don't.
Yeah.
I
Miami's
don't.
already way worse in traffic and population than we are
Yep.
here.
I don't think that it
Yep.
would happen. The reason why is because when you implement something like a railroad track or whatever, you're also gonna have to add stops for all the shit that it's cutting in between. So that's just gonna
Yeah.
mean more stops and more traffic for us.
Yeah. But that's okay, because if you have a dense populated city, you're gonna have that traffic situation anyway.
Yeah,
And then you have to have special bus lanes that only bus can travel on those, things like that. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Which I think they are gonna probably start doing in downtown St. Pete. You know how they've started like removed all that parking in certain areas on the streets and made them a lot
Yeah.
wider. They'll probably start to do bus lanes.
I think
Exactly.
They already said trolley lanes, right?
what
That's what they're
yeah
doing.
what they're gonna continue doing is probably just making bigger lanes and make something out of it like Atlanta, where you have the commuting lanes as well, and you have shit ton of interstates.
So I think that they'll start doing stuff like that, Natalie. So she said, better yet, why not trains that lead all the way up to New York? They're gonna start doing that when the trains become faster and faster and faster. Like you know what I mean? Like the whole bullet train ideology starts to become a
If
real thing.
yeah, if that becomes a real thing,
I mean, they already have it implemented. I think in places like Asia, right?
something that's straight shot like that, that wouldn't be as bad. Because it's a straight shot, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, probably.
it won't really block. I mean, it's gonna block a lot of roads still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still gonna
Like
block a
Alex
lot of
said,
shit.
public transportation lowers traffic, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like that's the traffic's gonna have to be such a bad problem that they're gonna have to be like, okay, we have to implement more public transportation. Which what are they doing in Miami? I'm not very. What do they have in
They
Miami? Do you
still
know?
have highways. It's just shit ton of highways, and people are
it's
still
just
getting
car
blocked. Yeah,
transportation and like taxi and
it still gets blocked a lot.
they
I
don't.
mean,
I mean,
Uber,
do they have
Lyft,
like
taxis, all that
trolleys?
shit's
Do
big
they
in
have like
Miami.
trolleys or any kind of tram system in downtown
I'm sure they do.
area?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I feel like all the major cities in Florida's do.
Yeah, there's some kind of thing there implemented usually.
Even if it's just a guy in a fucking bicycle.
There's always that guy in downtown areas in Florida. Anywhere you go,
There
there's
was a
always
guy
that guy.
selling hot dogs at the pier the other day.
Okay, so there is a metro rail actually they have in Miami. Yeah, you can get from Miami Airport to downtown, all the way to Kendall. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it goes through Hialeah, Northwest Miami Dade. Okay, so there is like multiple metro systems implemented in Miami. Like the way Japan has it, I'm trying to have it like that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So they have bullet trains already implemented in certain places, but the thing is that project is, I don't even know how to think about that.
I feel like Japan was like, fuck it, we're just gonna solely depend on subways.
That makes sense too. The U.S. is a big car market. They want you to pay for cars, not public transportation. Alex says, it's that's something you could agree with. Anytime any industry starts messing with another industry, there's going to be blowback from that. Who
and
you're
in
fucking
the
with.
U.S., there's also that
Messing with
big
people's money.
idea of I want to have a car, I want to be able to drive myself. That independence.
Well, in our area, that's a big thing, right? Like
Yeah.
having your own car, being
You
independent.
have to have a
is-
car.
when you-
Where we live, you have to have a car.
Yeah, basically.
You cannot have a car.
Uber's too expensive. It's not like it's that cheap here to be paying for that shit. You be
No.
paying. It's still like $12.
I mean, if you have to do it, you got to do it. But
Well, it
Yeah.
depends how much money you're making, right? Like,
Yeah,
it depends how much.
I guess. But if you're making that much money, what the fuck are you doing without a car? Right? Like it just.
Well, see, because you think about it, where somebody, let's say somebody needs to travel, let's say for 30 minutes, and that's a good way in an Uber. It's a good way for you to do 30 minutes of work one way or another way, right? So sometimes it could be worth it. Like you're responding back to your emails, right? Like before the day starts and after the day ends. So
I
that
don't know.
time you're using
Because
on
if you're commuting like if you're commuting like 30 minutes, that's like a solid $22 Uber, I would say. And so, that's like $50 of a day of travel, right? You would need to be getting paid at least $25 an hour for that to be worth it, right? Like that would have to be your breakdown of like that's what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
Or no,
That's what I'm
sorry.
saying. So if you're making money,
Yeah, that's what-
50 bucks, 50
yeah,
bucks
50
an hour.
bucks.
So that's the
50 bucks an
breakdown. So
hour,
if you
sorry,
make
yeah.
more than if you're making more than $50, it actually makes more sense to travel with Uber than because if you can do work during that drive time, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna get paid for it.
That's
So
a
might
good
as well do
scenario.
that.
That's like a really particular scenario of like you're probably working for yourself or in some kind of sales job, right? Like you're selling,
Sales
yeah.
job or something. Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Or you
But
make
yeah,
like you're making deals and bonuses have to be met and that kind of situation. Like you'd have to be making a decent amount of money already, right? Like you'd probably sell your car and stop using it and that kind of ideology, which at that point nobody's gonna do, right? Nobody's gonna sell their car to start doing Uber just to use their laptop for the 30 minutes in the morning and on their way 30 minutes home.
some
Who's
crazy
gonna really
people
do
do
that?
I mean, you got crazy
yeah, if
people
you
that
think about it-
fucking ditch their whole fucking $1 million lifestyles to go on some spiritual retreat in the middle of fucking nowhere.
so let's say I fill up gas every week, right, in my car. That's about 60 bucks, 60, $70. That's one. And then you also count in the insurance that you're paying on your car, which is usually around $200 to $300 a month. So
Your car
that
payment.
already there, you're looking at 300 bucks right there, including the maintenance of your car, washing, cleaning,
And a lot
and
of
then
and most of the
changes and
time,
things like that.
People don't
Adds
own their
up.
cars.
and most people don't own their cars,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're probably
What
paying,
do you-
you're making
what-
payments on it.
Yeah, you're making payments on it. So like you're looking at $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month, then you start counting like, oh shit, I also make $50 an hour and more. That's like cutting into my time. Now it's like, is it really worth having a fucking car? It's actually a cost loss, right? Like it's a loser, right? So
So you're saying $1,000 a month? It balances itself out in the sense of, the how much you would be, yeah, and then you would technically be making more, right? Because you're working during that time, right?
yeah, so 50 times 30, let's say you spend $50 every day
Well,
of
you
the
were,
month, right?
well,
Times
that's
30, you're looking at $1,500, right? So if it's $1,500, so if your time and the cost of a car is more than $1,500, it makes more sense for you not to have a car.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm still gonna have a car. I don't care.
yeah. Most people are still
Well,
gonna have
you
a
kind of
car.
have to. You kind of have to.
Yeah,
You know what I
like I
mean?
said, in the area that we live in, we need to.
Yeah, you
So,
kind of have to because like the cabs are not as accessible. I mean, with Uber being Uber, yeah, that's fine, but then there's no public transportation system. That's the problem. Like you don't have if we had a public transportation system, people would use it, but you wouldn't have enough people that would use it. That's the issue.
Dude, isn't it crazy? We live by the beach. It's like 10 fucking 15 minutes away, but
so
we never
this
go.
gets into my next question. You know, Jay's out there in Europe right now. We're in somewhere that's, I mean, most people around the world don't live by beaches, right? And so, like, what a lot of people consider desirable in Florida, you know,
Long
without the,
walks on the beach for the
not,
girls.
and a lot of people living in the cold and stuff, they would love to live in somewhere that they don't have to deal with snow. If you guys could choose one place in the world to go and live, with all the money you had, you can take all your peoples and just have, like, that's where you live from here on. Considering the quality of life of the area, not just the geographic reasons and stuff, everything. Where,
Swiss
where
Alps,
where would you guys go?
Swiss Alps.
Swiss Alps?
I was gonna say
Yeah,
Sweden.
in the mountains.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Sweden.
Sweden, bro, that'd be cold as fuck. Sure, not Switzerland.
It'd be
Sweden
cold.
is like
It'd be cold, but I think it'd be a cool
Sweden
place.
is fucking cold. Sweden is even more. It's colder than Scandinavian countries are colder than Lithuania. They're
And
cold as
and
shit,
and
bro.
given this is with all the money you can have, right? So you just picking your spot.
That's what I'm saying. Swiss Alps, because in that area, like the weather is nice always, because it's a little bit more south. It's in the mountains, so you're not getting the heat, but you're also getting beautiful fucking air. Quality of the air is amazing. Food is amazing, and it's beautiful to be around. But then again, I like mountains. I don't like the fucking beach.
I heard
You know what I
Finland's
mean?
pretty cool as well.
Where?
Finland.
Finland.
Finland is nice. Finland is nice, but the problem is it's cold as shit. Like when I say cold, bro, I mean cold. Because in Lithuania, it'll go down to like negative 20 Celsius, which is like basically negative 20 Fahrenheit, or you know what I mean? That's Lithuania. And it's not just like one day. I'm talking about like a month of negative 20 constant. And like if you have a car here, you have to fucking make sure that bitch is warm. Like you gotta make sure you drive on these iced out roads and shit like that. So it's either that or Colombia, Medellin. That's where I would live.
I
I
think I
haven't been
would.
there, so I haven't.
Colombia's a good spot.
Puerto
Colombia
Rico,
is
Puerto
definitely a good
Rico for
spot.
sure. I want to
Yeah,
get a spot in Puerto Rico. Honestly, it just
Um,
reminds me so much of Cuba.
so I think I would do Japan.
Japan.
Yeah,
I don't like Japan because I don't understand them.
the food. I would just, that would be one of those things where you'd probably have to just dedicate yourself to teaching the language, like teaching yourself the language over time.
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna be
then
submerged
also
in the
the
culture.
people are super conservative in Japan. So there's gonna be a definitely clash of the um things that you're used to. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because
There's
it's
there's so
way
many parts
different than
of the culture and like across the board that I enjoy, from like entertainment to food and everything, and just
yeah,
like
and
there's a lot
and,
of it that I think I would really nice. And if you could have like
and
all the money in the
Japanese
world, think about it. Like, I don't know, mountain outside of Tokyo. Like, you don't have to necessarily be living in the city, or what, you do whatever you want.
It'd be fun,
but in
but
Japanese in Japanese you don't forget
I wouldn't be able to talk to bitches.
You
Yo.
would be able to. People speak English, bro. Like every country. Like you don't understand the amount of people that speak fucking English that have no business speaking English. Here, here, bro. Like it's insane. Same thing in Japan, but the problem you're gonna have, Japanese are not necessarily racist, but they're super nationalist. So you're gonna have a hard time living in that society being a white person. Like you're gonna be considered less smart, less intellectual, like bunch of shit.
I don't have any problem trying to integrate
You can
myself
have a
with another culture. That's gonna happen in a
I
lot of
mean, if he's
places.
saying that you have basically unlimited money, it's fuck you type of deal.
Yeah, yeah,
I
right.
don't
like
give a
fuck.
I'm
fuck.
not trying to
No,
make
see that
myself something. Yeah.
that's the thing in Japan. In Japan, fuck you money don't count because in Japan it's about honor, right? Like it's so anything they do, you have to do it with honor and you have to do the best you can. So the money is not a fucking thing for them. Like they don't give a shit about money as much as other countries in the world. So you can't really buy your way. Basically, what I'm saying is you can't really buy your way
Oh,
in
it's all
Japan.
good. Again, I'm not
Man,
trying to
with
buy
enough
my
money,
way
you
out.
can
I'm just
buy
trying to get
yourself. You buy
experiences.
yourself in anywhere.
Huh?
With enough money, you can go anywhere. What do you mean?
You can go anywhere, but you cannot buy respect in Japan. Every other
Well,
countries
nobody
you can
said I
buy
was
respect.
going somewhere to look for respect.
Well, you're gonna live in part of the you're gonna be a part of the society. Like
I
Japan has
get that, and that's and I
Japan
said I
has
had no problem adapting to another culture,
He said
but
he said he'd learn the language.
yeah, I would go as far as
even if
learning the
I
language.
wouldn't go that far.
I think you have, and I
no
think you're actually a little. I think you're probably a little wrong in the fact that they're not as conservative as you think they are anymore. I think this is a really
bro
old
they
looked
they
at
have
view.
they have restaurants where they will not let you in unless you're Japanese. Literally, just for the fucking hell of it, whether you speak it or not.
Well, they have restaurants that are considered specifically for the locals only. It's not like they'll not let you in. They're still you're still allowed to go there, but they're marked as for locals only.
Well, that's the whole idea, bro.
If someone goes in that doesn't understand, I think they still serve you.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. Like you're gonna have hard time in Japan because I've watched a couple of interviews with people that do live in Japan, and they're saying like the hardest part because there's this thing, the gaijin thing, like whether you consider the white person, like you don't get like you get treated as a second class citizen. You know what I mean?
Alex
So
said Japan has become a more Western country since we fucking dropped nukes on them.
it has, it has. However, they still are very
They
traditional,
went from
and
I'm killing
culture is a big
myself and
thing.
I'm not giving up to Hello Kitty real quick after those bombs dropped.
Yeah, Japan is probably one of the very few first world countries that is super, super fucking conservative when it comes to it. You know what I mean? Because like the family means a lot. Like
I mean, they also had a 800,000 uh, people population decrease.
Yeah, what you talking about here? I don't know about this.
If they don't
yeah, eight
fuck.
hundred thousand. They're 25 million total in total on a fucking one small tiny ass island. So for them, $800,000 ain't shit. They're probably happy there's a decrease because they live in literally fucking pods. Majority of people live in these tiny little fucking apartments that are like basically smaller than a studio.
And a very large portion of the Japanese population is also older as well,
Yes,
which also adds
they
up to
are.
the fact that 800,000
Actually, you know
people
what's
died.
funny? I have a friend that I saw him the other day for like literally 2 seconds, but he I was a friend with his in middle school. Me and Rodolfo, really good friends, and he went to Japan for the Navy, and we were talking about hanging out. Maybe I should talk to Rodolfo and see if we can hang out. Maybe I can get him on the pod and see what see our input on Japan,
Was
see what
it
it's really
Sai?
like. Huh?
Who was it?
No, his name is Brendan. This white
Brendan.
boy. Yeah, he's cool.
But
He's
he
cool
lived on a
people's.
right? He lived on a
Yeah,
base,
but he
right?
spent a lot. Like from what I saw, he had his own car out there. Like he spent a lot of time outside. I think he just lived. He like legit lived in Japan.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah. Because majority of the time, any of the military people, they'll live on a base. Like I have a coworker of mine whose dad lives in
We'll
Korea,
we'll see
and
how
he's a
what he.
contractor on a base. So
Korea
he
would be a
doesn't even
cool place to be as well, but
He, yeah, he doesn't speak Korean at all. He's been there for like years and he doesn't speak Korean at all. Why? Because he lives on a fucking base. It's kind of
Yeah,
like Hialeah. It's kind of like Hialeah. It's like its own little economy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
It's funny when you go to like even in DR. There's like when you're in the hotel. Sometimes you'll catch like me and my sister. They'll come up to us and speak in English, thinking we're American initially.
yeah,
If they didn't hear us
yeah,
speaking at all, because like a lot of people speak English there just due to the amount of tourists that go there and stuff too.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think Medellin would be like the ultimate one if you're talking about South America. I think it'd be the ultimate one
Medellin
because they're
is on my top 5 of places I'd probably take to live. Right, like some of the like You back like remember that big ass penthouse, the glass one that was behind our hotel. You could see
Yeah.
it. You could see. You know what I'm talking about? The hotel. It
Yes.
was. I remember it was behind, but I feel like it was right, and it was
Yeah.
just crazy, bro. Like imagine that, like that fucking huge penthouse in the middle of there, like party city. At the same time, you have the mountains to go do whatever you want. Like amazing,
Yep.
amazing.
And everything
Culture,
is super
food,
cheap.
cheap. Yeah, super cheap.
Yeah. Now, food, I won't go as far as saying food. I mean, the- Colombian food is good, but it's nothing
I
special.
really
You
like
know
my
what I mean?
bandeja paisa. I can really fuck up a bandeja
They
paisa.
have some stuff that I'd like.
That's I really enjoy that. Like for example,
I don't know if I enjoy their breakfasts.
Why?
I don't
The
remember really
arepas?
having any of their traditional breakfast except for
Arepas
arepas.
are alright.
Yeah, we did arepas.
But I really
Remember
like
when?
I really like Venezuela arepas a lot more. I think.
Oh yeah, bro, there's not even comparison. If a Colombian person comes out to me and says their fucking arepas is better, I'm decking them in the face. No, they're not.
Venezuela, yeah, Venezuela
Yeah, bro,
arepas are
Venezuelan
just the
arepas are like on
best.
another level. You're
There are a
fucking
lot of
me.
Venezuelan
Yes.
people over in Colombia too.
Yes, when we were in Colombia, we met a lot of people from Venezuela.
Yeah, and
A
then,
lot of people. Our taxi driver multiple time was Venezuelan.
so the newest trend is apparently everybody is trying to convince people that the situation in Venezuela is changing and it's better, and you should travel to Venezuela as a tourist for vacation. And I'm like, yo, motherfuckers are
You're
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, the country's still going off a dollar. There's a
It's
dollar,
just shit.
like they don't have their own fucking country currency. What do you mean the situation is getting better? It's not. Like it's still a shit show, as a for a tourist.
I talked to
Like maybe
many.
a fucking
I
remote island.
I asked many Venezuelans when I was in Colombia what was their situation like in Venezuela, and I did not hear anything positive. Whether they were
Nothing,
telling me
bro.
about their personal experience or, like I had one guy tell me about his brother. I think that was a police officer there, still living a really bad life. Like
Things
Bro, they don't have
weren't
right
things. I
anymore.
could be wrong here, but weren't things better when Hugo Chavez was in control?
I have no idea.
Nah, bro. Chavez was the reason the fucking Venezuela is where is it today. Because Chavez pretty much said like the oil is gonna be for the people, and like he took that shit and he did what the communists did back in the day, where they're trying to convince everyone that like the bread should cost only like pennies, but in reality was costing them more to produce the bread than what the actual bread cost. And that was like one of the reasons why the fucking Soviet Union fell apart. Venezuela is not like it's the same. Like that's what Chavez did. He did the same fucking thing, and this is pretty much one of the reasons why Venezuela is where it is. Because it's a very oil-rich country, bro. Like they
I was
have the
about to say,
largest
isn't it
deposits
something
in the
like
world.
90 something percent of their economy is they're just
Just
oil?
oil,
Yeah,
straight
bro.
oil.
It's like a
It's huge.
96% something like that. I saw one time a stat.
Yeah, and
Maybe I'm wrong.
it was corrupt. Number one to begin with the oil production and whatnot, bro. They got so much oil they could literally sustain the world, and that's crazy. It's unheard of a country that much oil and have such a shitty fucking infrastructure. You know, Which is, you know what? I hate to say this, but I'm kind of happy because Venezuelans always thought that like they're better than everyone else. They're prettier than everyone else. They're
This is
better
not the
than
first
everyone
time
else.
I've
Shit.
heard that. I've heard that from multiple people now. The Venezuelans always think that they're the shit.
Yeah, they are the best. And anytime you talk to a Venezuelan, it's not like what they have right now. It's what they used to have. You know what I mean? Like anytime you talk to them, it's all about like, we used to do this, we used to do that. Motherfucker, you haven't done that shit in the past 10, 20 years. Forget it. That's in the past. You know what I mean? The
Oh
country's
shit.
a shithole, right? Like, sorry, but it is a shithole. I'm not saying that they're bad people. They're not.
Okay.
But the country's
So to
garbage,
stay
bro.
on the geographic subject on where would you go, my question's gonna change a little bit. So if you were deserted on the island, right? Let's say a tropical island. Let's put you in the Caribbean or someplace like on the Pacific, tropical island, right? You know what I mean, right? Moana style, fucking Hawaii shit. And you have to bring it's so we're gonna play like a 3-3-3 rule. So 3 people, dead or alive, doesn't have to be someone you know, but 3 people, 3 like major items, right? It can be like a kit of something bundle, and then I want you to pick the 3 kinds of animals that will be roaming this island for you to provide yourself food.
3 people, one pack of something or whatever, one item.
Three, and three. It's 3 items.
Oh,
that are,
three, three, three. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
3 people.
So you know that motherfucker Man versus Wild?
Bear Grylls.
We taking him.
We're taking Bear Grylls. We're taking
Uh,
Young Bloods.
who?
Young Bloods from YBS. It's a YouTube. He does survival shit.
Okay.
Like he stays at beaches and.
I'm bringing some fine
he's-
ass bitch. We might be there
I'm
for
bringing. I'm bringing fucking.
some female. We don't have to say the
The
name.
guy
of
that
female, but
got
it's gotta be
killed
some
by
fine-
the fucking stingray.
Oh my guy Irwin, Steve Irwin.
Yeah,
No,
I like
no,
that.
I'm bringing-
I like
I'm
that
bringing
trio.
motherfucker.
I
I'm
like
bringing
that
that
trio.
motherfucker.
I'm bringing 2 girls because you need variety. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so
It's
you
like,
just need one
not
guy
have
to help
variety.
you out with stuff?
No,
He said,
there's a
just
third
one
person
guy
too?
is
There's 3
enough.
people you can bring.
No. I'm bringing 3 girls with me then.
You're gonna do all the hunting and providing on your own. Build everything
Yeah,
on
bro.
your own.
No, he said, I'm the lion. You bitches go get me the food. I'm just going to sit here and give you protection.
No, bro, and I'm gonna have just goats or sheep on the island because they don't need a lot of grass, so I don't have to worry about them having a lot of food, and they produce milk, and you can have meat
Jay,
right there.
if you're worried about the pussy
If you fuck up
situation,
a
you
sheep.
could always fuck animals.
Hey yo.
Nah, bro.
Hey
No,
yo.
bro, that's-
That's not an option, Miggy. That's not an option,
Yeah, that's what I
Miggy.
said. I'm bringing 3 girls with me. You need fucking variety, bro.
Variety that much, okay. I don't.
You do, bro. That's like natural.
So you gotta. I say Bear Grylls. I think Steve Irwin.
I feel
And-
like 3
and
girls
some
would
girl.
piss me off within
Yeah,
the first
too
5
much.
minutes, and I might just kill myself.
Right.
They wouldn't be able to because you like providing the safety and security.
Bro,
Like you're
what
the
the
only
fuck
guy.
am I going
What
to
the
talk
fuck-
to a girl about on an island, bro?
Now, what 3 items are you bringing yourself?
3 items? Oh, I'm not bringing my PC.
He said,
A
"I'm
fucking
taking.
knife.
I'm
Let's start
taking
with
this.
a knife.
I'm taking the setup."
Let's start with a knife. Probably we'll need a knife, something to create fire with,
I'd probably get
and
something like
probably
a
like
machete.
a fucking yeah, like a
Okay, yeah,
machete.
I'll get a machete. What? This is tough.
Something to start fire with, because you don't want to fucking rub 2 sticks together all the
Zippo
fucking
lighter?
time.
A fucking Zippo.
Yeah, they have those like the little thingies you go like with a knife.
Yeah.
It's like a little.
Yeah.
So Jay's taking like the ultimate Swiss Army knife. What else? Because that's one item.
There are those knives that have the fucking compass. They have the fucking.
This is what I mean. The
fire
ultimate
starter.
one, right? Like
No.
modern day
I'm not taking the
badass.
ultimate- No. The Swiss knife is gonna be too small. I'm taking a machete.
No. I mean, like
Like,
what I
He
mean is
doesn't
like
want
the
anything fancy.
not an actual Swiss Army knife, not that little bullshit. I mean, like what I'm saying is modern day, like one of those really cool multi-use knives. Yeah. They have a bunch of stuff and
screwdriver
whatever
on
you
it.
want, whichever one you can find on Amazon, my boy.
And I'm probably gonna take a fucking axe. Because you want to chop up some fucking wood to build a house.
Okay,
You,
so
you,
you
you're
gotta,
gonna need an axe.
So you got
and
an
then,
axe,
and then
a
you got one more
machete.
item.
One more item, a hat, bro. I'm taking a hat. My bald head, bro. I'm
You
gonna
could
get
probably
fucking
make a
cancer
straw
and
hat or
die. I'm
something,
taking a
man.
fucking
Yeah,
hat.
he said I need a hat from the get go. I don't want to make my
All
shit.
right, now
I
you're
just need
3 animals.
3 animals.
3 animals. Sheep, right? Because they're gonna fucking
Alright.
give milk and bread. I'm taking a fucking dog.
And clothing.
And bread?
And clothing.
Sheep make bread?
Bread.
He said bread.
Bread, no, bro. No. Milk and cheese and shit and meat.
Okay,
Okay.
and clothing. Sheep will make clothing.
Clothing too from the wool, right? And I'm taking a dog with me because that's who I'll be talking to, not the girls. The dog.
Okay.
You'd be talking to a dog. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you take Zeus, bro.
Interesting.
Like he's kind of a little bit stupid, but he can keep you company. You know?
I don't know if Zeus
And
would be
then-
a good companion. I feel like he would just do his own shit, just leave you.
Nah, bro. He'd be a great companion. He would not leave you, bro.
Yeah, he's got
If he's
separation
on his own,
anxiety, bro. He's not-
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
in-
don't leave me, don't leave me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's stuck to your foot. And then I'm gonna bring a fucking cat. The reason being, I'm gonna let that bitch out on an island to fuck up all the mice. They're gonna try to fucking get inside and eat my grain, meat,
There's
and cheese.
mice. I mean, in some islands, I've heard there's mice, but
I got you, Arthur. I'll ask
some
him right after
island in
this
the middle of
question.
nowhere.
Yeah, bro, you're still gonna have the
You think there's
mice
gonna be
and shit.
mice?
So
Probably.
I like you guys' answer.
Alright.
I fucks with
Dog?
it. What was your answers? What was your animal?
For my animal, I'd take a horse.
I like that. Transportation.
I would take
It's a small island, bro. What are you gonna do with a
Who
horse?
said it
Not
was
fucking,
small? I
not,
said it was deserted, but I didn't say it
not
was small.
fucking walk.
And it's, but
I
probably
wouldn't.
a horse. I think is a good idea. I ain't gonna lie.
Horse.
If it's a big
A
island, then
dog is
yeah.
not a bad idea because he could catch shit for you, keep animals and shit away
But
from
then
you.
I want you guys to think about. I said these are the only 3 animals that will be roaming the island. So there's
Alright.
gonna be multiple of them,
And
and
then
then there's no other food source.
and then chickens.
Oh well, if there's multiple of them, then I'm gonna take in the dog because you know the motherfuckers be wild and gonna try to attack your ass like a wolf. No, I ain't taking the dog then or the cat. I'm fucking taking the sheep because them
Well, that's
bitches
right. You
cannot
said
touch
these
me.
are just animals that are living in the island.
Yeah, these are not just like one that you're taking with you. So now you have multiple dogs
Okay.
on the island. You have multiple horses.
So horses I can eat.
I fuck with the horses thing.
I mean, I try not
Still.
to eat it
Because
I
you
try
can
and
now you
hide
have meat, now you have clothing, now you have ways of transportation. It's a bunch of things with horse.
Yeah.
That's why I really like that one.
Yeah, a horse will do. Cow, I'm not sure about the cows and shit. I don't want to take them motherfuckers with me.
I
They
think
eat a lot, they fart a lot, they shit a lot. You
I
know,
think
I don't.
Cows are a good idea though.
I want a horse. I want horses on the island. I want this island to be surrounded with the best and the biggest fucking tuna right on the shore that I could just fucking fish up. That's my second animal. Oh yeah, tuna, a bunch of tuna all day. Yes.
Well, are you taking a fucking fishing pole with you? Is this
No,
one
I'll
of your
make bro.
things?
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be surrounded on the island. It's my, they're on the
He's actually
reefs.
just
I'm
trying
gonna
to
fucking
catch
get
steers.
I'll spear that motherfucker. I'll spear him,
You are not catching that tuna with a spear either.
bro. I'll spear him.
He
How?
I'll do it. You'll see.
He said, "You don't know me."
You don't know me. You don't know me, cut. The horse, the tuna. I don't know. Probably I like the
Cow's a
idea
good
of
idea,
cow
man.
or sheep or some kind of other livestock animal.
You can
Yeah.
get fucking
Very
milk.
chicken. Yeah, chickens would
And
be
I
good
can still
too.
fuck with the idea of dogs being there because you could always tame dogs, right? Even if it's multiple. And then you get it to the point where you could just have like 5 or 6 and like those 5 or 6 will constantly fend off the other wild ones if need be, you know what I mean? Like I can still do dogs.
But don't forget, our dogs nowadays, they're pussies, bro, in comparison to wolves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wolves no, not wolves, dogs.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good list.
So
And then
your brother wants to know what your experience has been in Lithuania. What's that been like?
in what sense?
So let's break it down this way. Like, let's start from the beginning. What is the airport like, and what is that? What was I gonna say? The
It's small, it's shitty.
process. There you go. I knew it was a
Very
PR.
quick.
Is
It's very quick. Small.
security is a big thing or not really? Like they're
They
just
got the
kind of like
machine
guns
Punta
out.
Cana, where it's just like go.
I didn't see a single fucking person, there that's like a security person.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean it's an international airport, but the majority of the flights are within the European Union. You don't really fly out of here to like other locations. Like when I got to Zurich, which is this gigantic, beautiful airport, everything was like super pretty, very nice stores, like everything organized.
Zurich is
And
where?
they're
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Okay.
yeah. Mhm. And there were like the police officers that were there, like the security people over there, were walking on with fucking machine guns.
Yes.
Right. So I don't know if there was like a heightened security issue. They had to walk around
That's
with
the type
machine
of
guns or
security I
whatever.
like to see at airports.
Yeah. They were with machine guns and they were checking like there was one guy stationed by the fucking international flight that was coming in from United States. I don't fucking know why.
I remember when we went to DR, your brother was talking about, bro, you can pay a few euros, go through the fast lane. LOL. That reminds me, in DR, you do the same thing, bro. One time we went to DR and it was during COVID, and the lady goes, "Oh, you guys, like I guess she was talking to Emily's mom or whatever," and the lady basically hooked us up. We paid her, I think, I don't know how much, bullshit, and they put us in a room for like random COVID check. And since they took us from the line and did this random COVID check, when they took us out of that room, put us at the front of the line, right? And so we just stood in this room for like 2 minutes, and the lady came in, was like, "All right, come on," and now took us to the front, and like we went past like this long ass fucking
In
customs
Cuba,
line.
you can do that too. You could pay customs.
Yeah. Now, see, as far as the experience goes, Lithuania doesn't have any. Well, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, so it's nice to vacation here. I would not want to live here.
Why
It's
not
great
live
for
there?
vacation. Well, number one, it's very concentrated, all packed in one place, right?
Okay.
Like a lot of times you cannot find the things that you really want here. Like you have to order everything. Like you have everything, but you have to order everything, right?
Do they have Amazon?
No,
Damn.
basically no. Basically, it's a very limited things that you can get
Your
here.
brother talking about saying they were walking around like Call of Duty style with ARs and shit in Spain, and that's just
Yeah,
like a
yeah, that
normal
was
thing in
similar with
Europe.
Zurich. Yeah, that was similar with Zurich, you know.
I mean, in
Um,
DR, not necessarily in the airport, but it's a normal thing. Like when you're walking on the street and when you go through like a simple thing as like a toll, right? There'll be guys walking around with dogs and
Like checkpoints.
fucking big ass Benelli shotguns and ARs and shit like that. Not necessarily
yeah,
like AR-15 M4 platform. Like I've seen
More like semi-automatics.
no. Um,
Mexico was like that. Cancun was
Well,
like that.
Mexico
you know what
definitely
I
needs.
reminded? It kind of looked like a SKS style rifle I've seen before and stuff like that, older stuff. But mostly shotguns. You see a lot of people
They
walking
need
around with
that
shotguns. The
security,
cops
man.
walking around with
There's a
shotguns.
lot of fucking mental illness around the world. A lot of fucking terrorism, all that stuff.
It's crazy though. You look at places like that, right? Where the police are armed to the teeth, walking around like that, and then there's other places where I think it's like in England where like a lot of the cops don't even have guns, right? Like they walk around just as like basically peacemakers with their mouths, kind of thing, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's weird, right? You have like the extreme, and then you have what I'm trying to say, two sides to that extreme all around the world.
Yeah. Because like it's all depending on the corrupt how corrupt the country is, number one, and number two is, how much order do you have in a country, right? Like if you have order in a country, usually if the laws are working really well, you're not gonna have those issues.
Right.
Majority of the people are gonna be fair. But then again, London lately has been fucking. London has been very dangerous to live in. Like you walk in there with a little more expensive watch, they'll pull out a fucking hammer and be like, "Give me the watch." If you don't, they'll smack you over your head with a
From
fucking hammer.
from
You
what I've
take the
from
watch,
what I've heard, it's more of there in London. It's gotten to the point where it's not. I'm gonna ask you for it. They're just smacking you in the head and taking it off your body.
and then take it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I've
yeah,
heard. Is more the situation. But you were
yeah.
saying you wouldn't really want to live there. What are some more reasons why you wouldn't want to live there?
Because I think in United States, I don't know, there's something about United States more convenient for me in United States. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Now, here's the thing: if I had all the amenities here, like I have in United States, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe, but then again, it depends on the amount of money you're making, right? Like if you're making ton of money, fine,
for a
living.
single man and like you and Miguel, what are the birds like out there?
What the ladies are like,
Yeah,
bro. Like I'm not kidding. Like an average height of a girl here, because this is a basketball country. So I remember that. So average height of a girl here is probably like 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". So
they're a little taller.
yeah, yeah, they're a little bit taller, and they're not necessarily like what I usually like. I like darker complexion.
You're
Here are
Caucasus, bro. You mountains of Caucasus over there, bro. Come on,
yeah,
what do you expect?
mountain of the Caucasus. Yeah, even though I'm right-skinned, I'm from the mountains of the Caucasus. Uh, but uh, but yeah, it's not my style. They're a little less curves. You know what I mean? They're a little more flat. You know what I mean? But they're super like skinny. They're like model skinny, like Victoria's Secret runway model skinny.
See, I
Like a
don't
lot
like
of
that
girls. Like
shit. I've never liked my woman to be skinny. Like super skinny
yeah,
like
so
that. Like nah.
It's nice to have something to
To
grab
grab on
onto. Yeah.
exactly. Grab onto the fucking handles or something. I
uh,
don't know.
Something you gotta have some kind of masa
Exactly.
somewhere. Masa somewhere. No matter. You just gotta have something.
Eat some fucking avocado oil or something. Have
this
some
Uh,
is
fat
the
in
shit.
food
you.
is the food is definitely not an issue here. It's just like girls here actually watch what the fuck they eat. Like
Yeah,
they're
they
not
care, and their diets are
they care
a
about
lot
how they
healthier.
look. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and more and more is becoming a little more like health conscious. So that's adding to the whole thing of like them doing their diet. But again, there are a lot of pretty girls. Don't get me wrong,
So
because
completely unrelated to you being in Europe and your really cool situation. Would you rather look like a potato or feel like a potato?
look like a potato, feel like a potato.
One or the other. You have to
Depends
either
on what
have the like your skin will look like a potato, or your skin has to feel like a potato.
depends on what part of the what
Your
part
skin,
of
bro, your whole body.
no. What in what time of my life I am? Like what period in my life I am? Yes.
Am I towards the rotting of the
Ah,
potato
shit.
or?
Okay, right now. You're right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now, I'd rather feel like a potato.
That look like a potato. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather look like a potato than feel like a
What
potato.
does it feel like a potato feels like? That's what I want to know. Like, what does it feel like a
You know
potato?
what I mean? The potato skin, bro. Come on.
Like, my skin already feels that shit. I don't use lotion.
He said, "I already feel like a potato."
Yeah.
Oh shit! So you rather look like a potato? Why would you rather look like a potato?
I don't fucking know. I don't want to feel myself like a fucking potato. I don't even like potatoes.
What? You don't like potatoes?
Not as much. I'll eat some fucking French fries. I'll
You don't like mashed potatoes?
occasionally
And
on
then
a
like
special
if they
occasions.
like cube up some potatoes and like air fry them, you don't need that.
I'll eat them, but I won't ask for it.
Damn, bro, I love me some potatoes. I like potatoes.
Wait,
I
you,
won't go out my way.
Crazy.
you don't like fucking crispy ass, delicious fucking
I don't crave it.
potato
It's not that I don't like
pancakes.
it. Is I don't crave it.
Potato pancakes when you're drunk and hungry,
Hold on.
3 o'clock
Potato
in the
pancakes
morning
are
in
fire.
IHOP, bro.
No, no,
So
no.
yeah, just
Potato pancakes are
fuck
fire.
I
potatoes,
never had
bro.
potato. What do you mean potato pancakes?
Sweet potato pancakes are fucking amazing.
No, I never had that.
So there's like you have the hash browns, right, in IHOP, and then there's this thing here in Lithuania. They make this thing called potato pancakes.
Okay.
So this is basically like it's not mashed. Then you use this special equipment to kind of do the same thing as what the hash browns are, but the pieces are much finer and thinner and smaller.
Okay.
And then they'll make a
They mush
pancake
it.
out of it, like an actual pancake, and then they'll deep fry that, not deep fry it, but they'll
They'll just put
saute
it on the
it.
stove. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you fucking chop that shit up with some sour cream, bro. Oh my God,
Yeah, we had
they're
some
like gooey, ooey. You know
at
what
the
I mean? Like
restaurant I used
super
to
good.
work at. We used to have sweet potato pancakes, and they're fire. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're really good. I think potato pancakes are underrated. I've had potato pancakes in United States, and there was like I don't remember what state it was, but it was definitely like a German influenced state, right? And they had fucking potato pancakes there, and they were fucking delicious, bro.
Yeah, I definitely rather feel like a potato. I think so. And on that note,
Yeah.
we hit our hour and a half, I think, already
Yeah.
for the day.
It was a good pod. I'm glad Jay made it. He's looking a little more awake now.
Yeah, we got him up now.
Yeah,
What time is
I
it?
am.
He's ready to go.
It's
He's about to have some
five
coffee,
thirty.
bro.
No. It's 5:30 in the morning. Nothing is open right now. Well, I'm just gonna fucking try to figure out where the hell are my AirPods because I don't see them anywhere here.
Damn.
So
You
I'm gonna
think
be
the
on.
Bears got him?
Yeah.
The Bears took him out your pocket when you were
You
wrestling
know
him.
what?
Keep fucking acting
Yeah.
like Khabib and they're gonna steal all your shit, bro.
No. Yeah, I think what happened was since I fucked up a couple of bears, the other bears were like, all right, bitch, well, we can't fight you, so we're gonna take some from you.
Fuck
So
with
they
the
took my
gang.
AirPods.
Yeah, bro. Keep acting like
Yeah,
Khabib, bro. They're gonna steal your shit. You're gonna come out of those fights with no clothes on, phone
bro. I'm
gone.
telling you, bears are no joke out there, man. They're
Oh.
ferocious
I
too.
hope
I've got.
Jay,
I'm telling you, I'll send you a picture of a fucking leopard. I did.
you gotta you that oh so that picture you sent me, you took it?
Yeah, bro.
Ah, okay.
We're gonna have
Okay.
to
I
fact
took
check
that
that.
Yeah,
picture.
Run it through the scanner.
yeah.
No, I swear. I swear.
You swear?
Jay generated an
He
AI
did
image
like
of a leopard.
he did like this. He put one hand up and the other one like this. I swear, I swear.
I swear.
Or the other hand just there crossed.
No, here. I swear.
I swear.
Okay, yeah,
He's
the-
crossing
now
his
it's the
legs.
toes,
Yeah,
the
he's
toes.
crossing his legs. Ah, don't worry
Nah,
about
man,
it,
my
Jay.
toes are not that agile.
Not that oh shit. All right,
I
thank
actually
you.
tried. I actually tried to do it right now just to check if I can, and I can't.
You can't cross your toes?
Nah, not like fucking across.
So thank
You
you
don't
everybody
work.
who came into the chat. Natalie, Arthur, Alex, I think were the ones I saw active here today. Bianca as well earlier. Thank you guys for coming in. And anybody else who was in there ghost watching, at least drop a like, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you so much. By the way, I forgot the fucking camera was over here. Thank you so much for the support as well on the reels. Those have been doing very well.
Yeah, they've been
Yep.
doing good. Posted up another one earlier today. I'm gonna be posting up one more right now. Yeah, you guys will. I can post that in the comments of this one, so you guys can see that too.